welcome neighbors to Miracle Farm 1927 Homestead, and we're off the homestead today, and we wanted to bring you something special. Me and Daddy here, we work on tractors for a living, and Dad and me have a collection of tractors, and my dad especially has a big collection of two-cylinder tractors, and we have one today, and it hasn't run in the past 14 years. I was a little kid last time I rode it. I barely remember riding on it, but it's been, we're at my grandpa's, and it's been sitting back here in the shed for a long time, and I thought it'd be pretty neat to get it running, and we're kind of on a little bit of a rush for this one to get it running, because we actually have a show next month that we want to go to with it, and so we have exactly a month today. So I'm going to show it to you here. It's a pretty neat tractor. They're pretty rare, especially we live on the East Coast, and these tractors were more from the west, or from the west central of America, right? And out what states would they be in?
Iowa and Illinois, out there in wheat country. They was mainly for wheat farming.
Yeah, and that's actually the name of this tractor would be a Wheatland style tractor. So we're going to show it to you here in a minute, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the story of this tractor, and we're going to try to get a few things done to it. So show it to you right here. Yeah. So this is the tractor right here. This is a D John Deere. So like I said, these are pretty rare for around here, and this one, it's been sitting, like I said, 14 years, and this tractor has been restored once. You can come over here, Daddy, and tell them kind of a little bit of the story about the tractor.
Well, I was 14 years old when we bought this tractor, and they say it was in rough shape when we brought it in here. We'll show pictures of that. We'll mix them in with a video later, but anyway, I was 14 years old, and we bought it from a collector down in South Carolina, and brought it in. The engine was stuck on it, and a couple of days later they called us back wanting the tractor back, and they said, no, we just got it done stuck, so we're going to hang on to it. So we've had it 40 some years now. So anyway, like I say, it's been sitting a while, and we probably got a lot of old gas and mess. We got flat tires and got a bunch of junk piled on it, so we're going to try to get it going.
Alright, I'll show y'all guys the rest of the tractor. These are neat old tractors. So traditionally, the two-cylinder John Deeres were tricycles. A lot of them were tricycles. We have quite a few of those. You can see kind of the mess right there. There's an old A model. That's an old, what year model is that tractor?
38.
It's a 38 A model, and I'll show you a little bit more. It's kind of got some stuff on it. But this is the style of these tractors. They called tricycles because the front wheels are real close together. And this would be the tractor that was around here, farm country. What were these tractors made to farm, really, Daddy?
Well, there was row crop tractors. You'd put a two-row cultivator on them, two-row planter. But that tractor there, it wouldn't have had a lift. You'll see the hand lever back on the left side there. You'd have had to pick your plows up by hand. Instead of having a hydraulic lift, that come a little later. But anyway, that would have had a hand lift on it, but that would have been a cultivating tractor is what that would have been for.
But yeah, we have quite a few of these types of tractors. The other type, this was a smaller tractor right here. This is an M. This is more of our garden tractor, a cultivating tractor. They're kind of similar in the way the wheels are, the wide front ends. You could get these tractors in wide front ends, but they were pretty uncommon. We actually have a homemade wide front end for this tractor, or a model. But anyway, so this tractor, as you can see, they were made at the same times pretty much. This is a style D. They would have made an unstyled D at the same time as that A. But these were, like we said, they were made for out west. They're called Wheatland style. Yeah, Daddy's taking the ropes off. So the unstyled tractors, they're going to have a different hood. And on the grill, it's going to have imprinted John Deere. And the steering column is in front. And it's round. In the styled tractors, it does not have a casting in the metal that says John Deere. It's usually just a sticker, wasn't it, Daddy?
Yeah.
And it has an actual grill instead of just kind of the straight radiator sitting out front. Like this tractor, it's going to have a styled tractor is going to have a grill. We'll show you one later to give you a comparison. This tractor definitely doesn't look anything like a normal John Deere 2-cylinder. So that's what makes them really neat and really rare. What year is this tractor, Daddy?
It's a 1944.
A 44, so it's pretty old. But anyway, like I said, we're going to try to get this one running pretty soon. So I wanted to film that, getting it running. These tractors, they're a lot less than anything new, and especially kind of for the era. So these are hand clutch tractors. All you got is you have 3 speeds with a reverse. So you have high, medium, and low. You got a hand clutch and a throttle and 1 brake. That's all you had for these tractors. And your dash is way up there. We'll get a better look at this tractor once we get it out of the shed. Not sure what all we're going to do today, but the one thing I wanted to get done is we're going to clean it out a little bit. And that tire's flat right there, and we're going to try to get that tire pumped up. So that's what we're going to do right now. So we'll be back when we get to that. Okay, I got that tire up. So it was pretty well flat. It seems like it's holding air pretty good. I'm not sure. We'll see. I didn't fill it all the way up, so I'm kind of cramped in there, but I got most there in it. Wanted to go around this tractor and show you a little bit more. It's a pretty straight tractor. It's been, how long has it been restored, Daddy?
Since 1980.
Yeah. So the paint has gone a little bit. Mostly on the motor. But on the hood, it's still, you can see, it looks pretty good. And there's a little bit of reflection. I can't really, you can kind of see it there. little bit of reflection, so that's going to be a real great power wash that we'll do on it, and see how I'm excited to see how well it cleans up. Everything looks pretty good. Like I said, there's small amounts of rust. We kind of want to paint it, maybe for a show next year. Daddy, tell me about that show.
Well, the D John Deere come out in 1923, so we're here, and they're going to have the 100th anniversary show this coming year for them. So that's one reason we're really wanting to get our D going and take it that show. This one won't be built that long, but anyway, the first D come out in 1923, so we're just going to take it and we'll add it into the show with the other ones. And there's probably not going to be many 1923 Model Ds there, but anyway, we're just going to take our D. It's the only D we got, so we're just going to take our D with it. So.
Yeah. So the D model is the oldest of the John Deeres, right?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was the first two-cylinder to bear the John Deere name.
Yeah. The Waterloo boy was supposed to be the actual first John Deere, and then there was the Frolic tractor, which was kind of a John Deere.
Well, the Dane was actually a four-cylinder tractor. They claimed to be the first tractor to bear the John Deere name.
Yeah.
It was like a three-wheel tractor. You'd have to look it up and see, but anyway, they always claimed that the D was the first one to bear the name, but it was, we'll say it's the first two-cylinder to bear the name.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, this is a two-cylinder, so there is two very big pistons in this motor. The motor is basically the tractor. In most tractors, the motor joins to the tractor. This is actually, the whole motor is basically the tractor. So there's two pistons, and they work opposite each other. One hits, and then it backs off, and then the other one hits. They're two separate cylinders. So you got two spark plugs, just two of everything, right? And they're massive. They don't run as many RPMs. But these things have a bunch of torque, and that's where you get your power out of these things. They'll run, how low RPM will one run before it'll choke?
It'll probably get down to 150, 200, and the maximum speed's 975 on that engine.
Yeah, so they run very low RPM, but they have a ton of power from torque. The pistons are just massive. These tractors, this would be versus a tractor like this. This is a H farm-all. This is a four-cylinder. A little glare. A four-cylinder like a car. It was basically made like a car. It has an updraft to a stand-up engine. The M over here, it is the same way. It's still a two-cylinder, but it's a stand-up engine with an updraft carburetor. So the M is kind of similar in that way. When these motors are lay-down motors, crankshaft sits in the back, the pistons lay down. They're really neat to watch run, really neat sound. That's why they got the name Johnny Poppers, because they pop each time the cylinder hits. They hit at a different. They hit opposite from each other, so it makes a pop. So that's why they're called Johnny Poppers. And this one, like I said, is just a really special tractor, and it's been in our family for 40 some years now, so we definitely want to get it running, and it'll be really neat. Alright, okay, so right here with the D. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to the camera ain't focusing good. It's fine. I'm gonna show you how you actually are gonna crank. We're gonna crank this thing and make sure this engine isn't stuck. This engine actually stuck this year, and me and Dad come over here and got it unstuck. It wasn't bad stuck, but you know, it's just, it's like I said, it's been sitting for a long time, as you can see, all my life pretty much. We just haven't had the time to really get it running, and lately we've been catching up on projects that we've been meaning to do, and so this is just something we would like to get done because this is such a nice tractor. Like I was telling my dad, this is like if somebody come back here that was like an actual tractor collector, this would be like equal to a big block Chevelle, just walking into a shed and finding one. This is definitely a barn find if somebody found this thing, because of how straight everything is. I mean, it's not a perfect, you can see, it's not perfect, but it's a nice tractor, and like I said, these are pretty rare for around here. So this is your cranker. This is the flywheel, and there is no starter, there is no key switch. There's nothing on this tractor. Most of these tractors, you actually, some people have made like a ground to shut them off, and that's basically it. This one just shuts off the old way. You shut it off with a throttle, so you just give it less fuel with the throttle until it shuts off. So basically, what these tractors, you just, this is the throttle. And you just push it forward to give it throttle and pull it back to give it less, and then you just pull it back until it just shuts off. Is how you, there's no switches. The only thing you have, you can't really see, it's kind of dark. You have a oil pressure and a water temperature gauge. And that's it. That's all you get. And it's about, if you're sitting in the seat, this is the seat. It's about a good 4 foot. So you really got to stare to see them two, but there's no other switches. You have that little knob. I don't know if y'all can see that knob. That little knob right there, that's for the shutters. If you run these on kerosene, they don't get as hot as fast. So there's shutters on the radiator. That's how you work those, so it closes off the air coming in the radiator. So that's pretty neat. Like I said, this is a hand clutch. You push it forward to an, it's kind of stuck. It's kind of a little bit old, but and then you pull it back to disengage the clutch. Steering wheel. This steering wheel is like brand new. This steering wheel is mint. It's really pretty. It's a little rusty, but I mean, for 1944, I mean, I think it's been replaced back in the 70s, but still, it's a beautiful steering wheel except for the rust. It's got a big old straight pipe on it. If you've watched some of our other videos, you know that we like big straight pipes. And this, my dad put this on when he was 14, so that's pretty cool. So anyway, like I was saying, this is your cranker. This is how you crank the thing. Big old motor, and you got to crank it by hand. So good way. It's kind of hard to see if it's stuck. Just get, and you turn it over, and as you can see, it turns over. Hit compression. I gotta use my whole body. Oh, okay, yeah, it's on compression. I can't do it with one hand. But anyway, that's pretty cool. I don't know if y'all can see it, but right there you go, you can see it. Those little grooves in there, they kind of look like a gear. It's not. Those are actually for your fingers. Your fingers go in them all the way around, and that's to make it easy to grip onto, because if this was smooth, this is a big old motor, big old pistons, this would be really hard to turn. We're gonna try to get this motor to run, or get this motor to crank with cranking it by hand. You can pull these tractors, like obviously pull them off, but pulling off tractors isn't the safest thing, and it's not the most fun thing ever. So we're gonna try to actually get this tractor to crank by hand the first time. That may or may not happen. Hopefully it'll crank. So different things we gotta do. Gotta stand the points, First thing, I'll show you, let's see if I can see the gas tank. I gotta get up here. You got a nice platform to stand on. Yeah, we're up here. You can walk all the way to the front of this tractor. There's a fuel tank. You see down in there? Can't really see it. It's not good light. But anyway, it's probably got like an inch of old fuel. 14-year-old fuel. Which it should be airplane fuel. Possibly. If it's not, it probably high test. So airplane fuel, what I mean for that, not jet fuel. Basically I think it's 103 octane. Just unleaded airplane for gas airplanes, unleaded, or no, I mean leaded high octane fuel, because that's what he used to run in these. I'm not sure if that's what's in it now. There's no kerosene left in it because we all run them on gas now, so that's a kind of a plus. It's kind of easier to run stuff on gas. Okay, we're back out here at the D John Deere again, and the other day you saw us, we pumped up this tire right here, and anyway, it, I don't know if you can see that, it went back down, and we tried to pump it up again and it won't go up, and this tire has a tube in it, so that means there's a hole in the tube now, so we're gonna have to get the tractor out of the shed before we can even get the tire up. So, but anyway, we're gonna try and get some spark today on it, and see what we can do about that. And we got one of the spark plugs out. They take great big old spark plugs, great big old spark plugs, and we're replacing. This is old ones that was in it. They're just so rusty, and we don't know what condition they are on the inside, so we're just gonna, Daddy had some laying around, so we're gonna put some in it. And I don't know if even the spark plug wires are hooked up there. I know this one ain't. It's got a dirt dauber's nest in it, but we'll clean that out. We gotta take the cap off anyway, so we'll do that when it comes to it. We're gonna try to get some spark. Try to, it's in a rough place, can't really see. You gonna turn in or?
Did you get spark plug wires
on? No, I guess you're gonna. I was gonna take this cap off because that one's full of dirt. I'm try just. He's gonna try to clean it out. Old dirt daubers, any type of thing you got with a little hole in it, they're gonna clog it up. So I'm gonna clean that out. Which side does that wire go to?
I believe it's the right one.
This side. You gotta make sure you get all the dirt off of that, because if you don't, won't have no spark. Off connection. It looks like a cane head. You're gonna get the air hose now and blow it out if you can. Oh, got my leg. There we go. I got some of that dirt out. He's gonna clean on that for a little while. We'll be back. Alright, he's got the wire in. We're gonna look at this spark plug and see if we got any spark.
Might see this one better.
Yeah, I might be able to. Let's go look at the other side. It's a little bright over there. You don't want that other spark plug. Nope, I don't see any spark on that one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the cover off the magneto and sand on the points. Let's see if we can get the cover off. A little rusty. Just got 4 little screws in it. There he goes. Okay, everything looks a little, got a little corrosion on everything. How the points looking.
Corroded.
Yeah. That's just a big thing. That's one of the only things that could be wrong with this one, because there's not much that can go wrong with the spark on it. Unless I guess the magnet can lose its magnetism, Daddy.
Yeah, and the coil can go bad.
And the little coil and stuff like that. But as far as getting power to everything, you have to, there's no battery. It all runs off of magnetism, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, if that magnet ain't strong enough, you ain't gonna get no power to your points. But it should be okay. It was fine when it was parked, but different stuff can happen. But the points are definitely corroded. You can see how corroded his sandpaper is. So it's just a big thing with these old gas burners. Gotta make sure them points are sanded.
Alright, I'm gonna go turn it. You need to see if you can see any spark in between the points there.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, we're gonna look right now and look in between the points and see if we see any fire jumping. So right there is the points. I think I saw a little bit. Yeah, ain't really seen much more. I think I've seen a little spark. So that means they need to be sanded more, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it for him. I'm gonna turn this and I'm gonna cut the camera off right now so he can see. But all right, so I let Daddy look at why I turned it, and we got spark every other time, so that means it was still a little corroded, so he sanded some more, and now we're getting spark good. So we're gonna put the cap back on and we'll see if we got any spark on the spark plugs. I'll be here in a minute. Turn it, we're gonna see if we got spark.
I did.
I think I saw a little bit.
No, you won't have none.
Oh yeah, that's right, I'm on the opposite.
This time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got good spark. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now we're going to put spark plugs back in. Oh yeah, I'll film this one. 2, 6. I was jumping quite a way. Oh my goodness. So that's got good sparks. That means that magneto is still, it seems pretty healthy. That big old spark. So we're going to put the spark plugs back in, and we're going to see what else we need to do, and we see what happens. Alright, taking the bowl off. The tank looks pretty good, but the bowl, you can see, or the sediment bowl is what it is got some old gas in it. So he's going to take that off and get it cleaned out, make sure everything's working good, and we might be able to put some gas in it. We'll see. Oops, dropped something, but that's fine. Yeah, it's being sticky.
Can you pull on that? Can you get to that wire there and pull it?
Not really.
Get out the slot.
Not. There it went. There, you got it. Let's look at it. Yours dumped. Oh, nasty mess.
Can you smell it?
It smells pretty good. There's a little bit of, is that rust? Is that rust or just old gas? Bit. Just a little tiny bit of rust in it, but that's normal. That's just old gas. So we're gonna get rid of that and we'll clean that out. That whole center, it looks a little, I don't know if y'all can see that. It's all gummy.
What old gas turns into.
Yeah, so that's old molasses right there. Nasty mess. Just old gooey mess. And that's really the worst thing about old gas. Gotta look at him mowing. But worst thing about old gas is it gets gummy like that, and that can stick in your carburetor. That's why mostly carburetors go bad when they sit. That's the thing with old gas burners. There's the carburetors go bad from sitting with old gas. But usually if it doesn't turn to that state, especially in these old John Deeres, if it's just old gas, it'll burn it. I mean, these tractors will run off anything. If you got old fuel, old fuel that ain't no good, you can just throw it in one of these tractors. But we want to try to give this thing the best shot it possibly has at cranking. So we made sure the tank, there's nothing in the tank. There's no gummy. You don't want any. I don't like to crank old things on old gas, because if they sit and then that old gunk gets in the motor, it's not good for the motor, it's not good for your carburetor, it's not good for your fuel lines. It's just rough. You can mess up engines by running that old stuff through them. So we made sure the tank, there's nothing in the tank, like I said. Only thing was in that sediment bowl, and Dad cleaned that out. So we might run a little gas through the sediment bowl, the actual the separator assembly there. I run some gas through it just to make sure it's going to be okay, make sure it's clean. But it looks pretty good, and we got spark, so spark and fuel, that's a big thing. So we're gonna we might be able to crank the whole thing today.
It's going somewhere.
Okay, we cleaned the sediment bowl out and put a little gas in it. So now, oh, there's some fuel coming out, so we're getting fuel to the carburetor now. So next thing to do, obviously, would be trying to crank it. So we'll make sure everything's tight and all that. But didn't seem like anything was too dirty in it. And gas coming out of the carburetor pretty good. So you're gonna put the spark plug back in it and we'll see what it does. Alright, this is the first time we're gonna try to crank it, and so I ain't cranked in 14 years. So we'll see what it does. There's one hit. Oh, he thinks petcock stopped up, so it's a little bit hard on him. Oop. Oop. Sucked.
You want me to build up
You want me to turn a little bit? Oh, he's gonna. The petcock right here, these are to relieve compression while you're cranking it. It has a dirt dauber nest in it, so you can see right there in the end, it was kind of hard on him because that's supposed to relieve compression when you're cranking these things. I don't have a wire, there might be a wire. But she hit. That was surprising. Hit on the second turn, so hopefully we'll let a little gas run in it.
The petcock wants to let the fumes out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing too. You gotta let all the burnt gases come through there while you're trying to crank it too. And once it cranks, it's got a little handle on it and you can close it, but while you're trying to crank it, these tractors have enough compression where they'll crank with that relief. But that one is plumb stopped up. It wouldn't have been entertaining enough then if it cranked the first time. But it did hit. That was. There he goes. Alright. I was wondering why it wasn't blowing any compression out of there like it was supposed to. Oop, wasps come out. We're making wasps very mad. They've made this thing their home. Alright. Now the other one's clogged up. Alright, he's going to try her again. Oh, she's smoking.
Probably shot that diesel fuel on it.
Yeah, it probably did. We're thinking the spark plugs are fouled out because, like I said, this tractor was stuck and we had to squirt some diesel fuel down in the cylinder. How's that one?
Pretty dry.
That one's pretty nice. But we had to squirt some diesel fuel down in the cylinder so it would loosen it up. So it might have fouled the plugs a little bit. We're gonna dry them out because this.
Was it stuck, son?
Yeah, it was stuck a little bit, but it's got spark. Yeah. All right, we're gonna try some more. Oh, there she hit. There, right. He's starting to. Oh.
That's enough. Let's work. Let it.
Oh. Alright, I'll hold this.
There you're getting it. How much gas giving it? That's gonna crank.
Might put up on compression before you start over.
Put it up on compression.
Yeah. It's got oil pressure. Oh, it hit there. Oh, he's getting there.
Right there, it's on compression right there.
Yeah.
It ain't on compression yet. Oh,
There you go.
Daggone, it hits. Oh, there.
stick that gas cap on page for it. Fills that funnel up with. Got a few bird nests down the exhaust pipe.
You ever try that when it's sitting in the sun? And that flywheel's really hot.
So you've done this before, Hog?
Yes, sure have. Wear a blister in my hand and wear a blister in the blister.
Petey's gonna try her again here.
She's wanting to go now.
Okay, we're back out here again today at the D. We had to quit for that day because we didn't feel like we was getting enough spark to fire it off. We kept turning and it wore us out and it was pretty hot. So we're back here another day and we got some new wires and some new spark plugs. So the wire, you can see the old wire here. That was pretty rusted and corroded. And the old spark plugs were, well, this was one we just had laying around, so we don't know the shape they were in. it kept wanting to hit. It wanted to run, but it just wouldn't ever run. We had a little bit of diesel fuel in the cylinders because it got stuck at one point, and we come out here and got it unstuck. So we poured a little diesel fuel in the cylinders to lubricate it. So we're fighting against that, and there's a bird's nest in the exhaust pipe, and just trash in the carburetor and trash everywhere. So we're fighting against that. But anyway, so we're going to give our best shot with these new spark plugs, and it's a lot cooler out today. So we're going to see what she does here in a minute. Okay, we're going to attempt to start it. Start. Going better my time. Turn the gas back on. Spark. Oh, there we go. I'm good. Yeah. That done her. We had to drain the carburetor. There wasn't getting no gas, so we drained the carburetor.
That's pretty good after running 14 years on.
Yeah. That's how you gotta shut it off. Oh. Oh. Your fat cock. Your fat cock's closed. Well, that was the first time it run in 14 years. That's I don't remember it barely running. I remember riding on it when I was a little kid, but that's the first time it's run. We had problems there. We drained a little gas out of the carburetor, and we put a little gas in it. We accidentally run a little low on gas. So once we got all that situated, it first lick, new spark plugs, and drained the carburetor a little bit, fixed it right up, and cranked right up once we got all that fixed. But next thing we gotta do is we gotta get a tire on it. But for now, we got the whole thing running. So we're really happy about that, ain't we?
Didn't have to crank yours on today.